Managing Expectations Part 2, using Fold 3 and pension records. Okay, so what you see on your screen is Fold 3. Fold 3 is a website, a subscription-based website that is owned by Ancestry.com. You can include Fold 3 in your Ancestry subscription, or you can get a subscription just to Fold 3. You cannot see the Fold 3 banner, and that is because my subscription ID is on that banner. But this is the website that I'm using. And as you can see, I've already entered the search term William A. Davis. So I was looking for information regarding this person, William A. Davis. I learned through previous research that there was a good chance he was in the Civil War. I also learned through previous research that a William A. Davis died in the Civil War. He was a Union soldier and he is buried in Tennessee. Now, I always have to take information, I don't want to say with a grain of salt, but looking at the name, his name is William A. Davis. Davis is a pretty common name, and so is the name William. So I have to be sure that the William A. Davis who died in Tennessee is the one I was researching for. So I was trying to find some information regarding this man, and so I'm going to show you the process of how I found that information using the Fold 3. Okay, so as you can see, I've already entered the search term. I go to search, click on that, and additional space comes up for me to enter more information. Things that I know about him. I know that William A. Davis was a Civil War soldier and he fought for the Union. So as you can see on the left, the conflict, they do have U.S. Civil War and they do have it specified to the Union. I'm going to click on that because he was a Union soldier, the one that I'm specifically looking for. He was also from the state of Illinois, so I'm going to type that in on the top because that's where he lived. I had found him on the census, and he was from the state of Illinois. So if I go down to my title collection, I am specifically looking for information regarding pension records. I'm going to clear that out and see all, that's the conflict. If I scroll down some more, oh, there we go. Okay, so here we have pension numerical index. Obviously, that's for multiple wars. There's the Civil War pensions index. An index would be individual cards. I'm actually looking to see if someone claimed a pension on him, and if so, who it was. And again, if this William A. Davis is the one that I'm looking for, okay? So if I click on that search box, so right now I'm looking for William A. Davis. I am also know that he's from the state of Illinois. And I also know that my Illinois went away. Got to put that in there. There we go. That's better. There we go. Okay, so we've got 34 results of a William Davis and pension index, William F., William S., there's plain HG, there is a William A. right there in Illinois, Regiment 18 in the infantry. I'm going to click on this one. Obviously, right now it, checks all my my boxes, so to speak. Click on that. I have 24 pages of information in this pension. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the pages. William A. Davis, 18th Regiment, Illinois, Elizabeth Davis. All right, so I know his mom's name was Elizabeth. Again, I've researched this man, actually this family, quite a bit, and I know his mother's name is Elizabeth. And he had dropped out of the census at a certain point, couldn't find him after the 1860 census. So that's one of my clues. All right, now I've got to check and see if that Elizabeth Davis is the one I'm looking for as well. So I'm going to click on my arrows, and let me show you one thing. I'm going to go back for a second. The following information is in the file. the original application, the proof of service, the proof of death, the proof of marriage, proof of children, and dropped from rolls. Okay, so there's some pieces here that are super important that I really want to see. And one of them is the proof of marriage to verify the name of this Elizabeth Davis's husband. And of course, I have to also realize that this Elizabeth Davis could be his wife and not his mother. So all these pieces of information are going to tell me whether this person is actually the person I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the arrow. I can make the screen bigger, as you can see, by clicking on the plus sign. Claimants, widowhood, dependent. It's hard to read sometimes. Let's see here. Dependent, let's see. On the decedent. All right. Left no widow or children. All right. Right then and there, I know that Elizabeth has to be his mother because it says so right here. Left no widow or children. All right. So we're going to go ahead. That he was mustered into service in company as a private May 28th, 1861, and he was killed on the night of January 2nd, 1863. 8 miles west of Clifton, Tennessee. Okay, I did find that there is a burial of a William A. Davis in Tennessee. So this is looking more and more like the man I want. By Company D, 18th Illinois Volunteers, while they were in charge of some type of a run of Company E, and let's see, while attending to surprise a rebel camp, Captain Reed mistook us for the rebels and ordered his men to fire. Okay, so this is why this is my example of the bad, or I should actually just call it the sad, because this is a Civil War soldier who was killed from friendly fire. He was killed his group was attempting to surprise a rebel camp. Captain Reed mistook us for the rebels and ordered his men to fire. All right, so like I said, that's why I put this under the bad, and I really just should call it the sad. All right, let me move along and see what other pieces of information, again, that will point me and so that I know for sure that this is the man that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's see. We have another form here. Okay, Perry County. That's the county, Elizabeth Davis. She is the widow of John Davis. Okay, that is another name that I suspected was the name of this man, William A.'s father and Elizabeth's husband. And of course, on this document, this pension document, she's applying for the pension for her son. She says John Davis was her husband. All right. And so we have, again, information. He's a private company A, 18th Regiment, 18th Volunteers. He was killed in Tennessee. And now we know that the gunshot went through the left breast, which caused his immediate death. All right. She was married to John Davis. So now I'm finding out information about her. And this is super important because all of these pieces together point to that William A. Davis, this man, is the son of Elizabeth Davis, who was married to John in Illinois in Perry County, which it says, so right here it says the date, which is it's got to be the 29th of April, 1830 in Perry County. And Richard Murphy was the Justice of the Peace. Now, if I go down further, I find the other piece of information that was super important to find, because I wasn't sure if William A. Davis had a brother named Thomas Davis. So right now here, she lists her 6 children. And this is another thing that was kind of a surprise to me because I didn't know that there were 6 children. I only knew of 4. or like I said, actually, I knew of 3, and I suspected Thomas Davis was part of that. So now I know there were 6 kids. There was Martha Catherine, Patrick James, Mary Jane, William Alexander, John Joseph, and John, let's see, William Alexander, William A., John Joseph, Robert, and Thomas Davis. Okay, so super important. All these pieces of information point to the same guy, the one I was looking for. I know this is him. And like I said, I put this under the category of bad, but it's probably more sad. But I'm going to continue to go through. It's only 4 pages of information. If you've never looked at a pension record, you will see that envelopes, there we go. There's an applicant's address. We know where she was living in, it looks like Pinckneyville, right there. And the year that she applies for this pension, William A., there we go, Illinois superintendent. All this kind of information can be found. Part of it is really important just because then you know so-and-so is alive at a certain time because they've applied for a pension. And in this case, she applied for the pension of her son. Again, here is another document saying that the roles that William, that he was enrolled, has all these, like I said, pieces of information. Anna, Illinois is where he went to go and register or volunteer to serve in the Civil War. And it says the months, killed on the night. Again, we see that there, killed by friendly fire. And let's see, let's go to the next document so you can just get an idea of the types of things that are in there. They also make sure that there are witnesses. This is very much so a very long process to get a pension. You have to go in front of the judge. You have to turn in paperwork. And in this case, she had to have witnesses come and testify that she was the mother of this man and that she married John Davis, and who was there potentially as a witness who saw the wedding. So this is all this information about Elizabeth Huggins. We know her last name. Again, this all fits with what I thought. Also says his name, so there's more information. So a pension record just could have so much information. It really is a treasure trove in so many ways. Again, another one appears filing, certifying the true and correct copy of a license, a marriage certificate. Someone else in court is testifying to that. There we go. Pension, this is the pension number, the record number 26257. And so this is what I was talking about. I know that Elizabeth Huggins is alive on the 4th of October, 1894. Oh, wait, no, I know that she is no longer alive because she's been dropped because of failure to claim the pension for 3 years. So now I have a pretty good idea that in 1894, if she's dropped because she hasn't claimed it for 3 years, that means that she dies around 1891. Again, piece of information didn't know before. Again, here's another page. I know I'm going through these quickly, but if you do find a pension record, I just can't stress enough how wonderful they can be as far as information. Here we go. More, just another piece of a document saying where he served. The certificate was dated, killed. Certificate was dated in 1864 and sent to Mr. Murphy in Pinckneyville, Illinois. And if we move along, very small area in southern Illinois. There we go. This is, all right. So her pension, that was, let's see, get approved, increased from $8 to $12. Okay. So there we go. She's now getting her pension. It used to be $8 and it's been increased to $12. So another piece of information. Mother, again, he was part of the Illinois Volunteers Pension Office, 1864. So now we know that she was getting that pension the year after her son died. and received it until at least 1891 when she was dropped from the rolls because she wasn't collecting the pension anymore, which means that she was probably dead, that she probably had died. Okay, this document looks like it's just part of an envelope, which you will find. Another judge, let's see, anything interesting or different here? Oh, this is more about husband and wife. Again, their marriage information. And of course, as you can see, that's upside down. So I'm not even going to try to, well, I probably could flip it. There we go. Because there's two parts to it. As you can see, all I used was this arrow there. Go down. There we go. All right, certify. Make that bigger. The license. Again, another thing about the marriage license between John Davis and Elizabeth Huggins, that they were married. So all that proof you will find. You will also find sometimes, which is pretty interesting, letters from people that wanted copies of these files. So back in the day, you couldn't find it, obviously, on the internet. You had to actually write to the National Archives in order to get the information sent to you. So you will find here's another thing. John F. Saunders, or Sanders, one of the two. But anyway, one of the daughters actually is married to a man named John Saunders. And so, again, just another piece that just fits in the puzzle. James Huggins, that would have probably been her brother, maybe a nephew. So these are people that came in. They testified for her, saying that, she was the mom of him. She was dependent on her son for her livelihood because she was a widow. And let's see, there's an addendum. And let's see any more information that you can see that has to do with a pension record. I think I'm getting to, yep, I'm at somebody else's. This is a different person. So that was an example of my bad, or I should probably say sad, specifically because of how the man died in the war, that he was actually killed by friendly fire. And it was wonderful in many ways because of all the pieces of information that I was able to get just from this file. So there is my example of the bad.